Well, there is an old adage that applies to the Kamala Harris-Tim Walz interview last night on CNN, and it is that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. And after 39 days where Democratic operatives tried to craft a new image for Kamala Harris, a double-barreled image, an image that she's not a San Francisco radical, and that she's competent and superwoman and girl power all the way. Both narratives fell flat last night before a national television audience, despite having every opportunity of softball questions lobbed at her throughout. Not all of them were softballs, but a lot of them were from Dana Bash. Does anybody care that Kamala Harris is going to name a Republican to her cabinet? Oh, I'm excited, aren't you? Aren't you excited about Jim Jordan as Commerce Secretary? Or James Comer as Attorney General, or Byron Donalds to run the Justice Department. Yeah, we'd be super excited about that, right? Except that'll never happen. It'll be some limp-wristed fraud like Adam Kinzinger or Liz Cheney. What a stupid question, Dana Bash. But that was the point, right? Let's ask one or two questions that people really care about, and that Kamala Harris should well be prepared for, because Donald Trump's been hammering her on them for all 39 days since she became the nominee, and she still wasn't ready for them. I mean, how many times in her campaign speeches has she said, on day one, I'm going to do this. On day one, I'm going to do that. On day one, on day one, on day one, on day one, right? Okay, so if there's any question that she should have been ready for last night, it was the very first question Dana Bash posed to her. You tell me, was she ready or was she not ready? Was she articulate? Was she clear? Did she create a vision? Or did we get another trip to the Kamala Harris word salad buffet?
If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost,
a number of
one
things.
Of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people.
Here we go. Word salad time. The ambitions, the creations, the this, the that. How long can I talk without saying anything?
I think that people are ready for a new way forward. A way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism.
Your bowl is now half filled with a Kamala Harris word salad. What are you going to do on day one? Has there been a policy yet? We're 36 seconds in. No, there hasn't been. I'm going to sign an executive order to do this. While I didn't agree with Joe Biden's executive orders, and while I don't like the whole concept of executive orders, whether Donald Trump is signing them or whether Joe Biden is signing them, she has the power to sign executive orders. Say something that answers the question.
I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and in an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation. And I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
Is she aware that the president is Joe Biden? Is she aware? I would not blame her for not being aware, since we haven't seen him for what, other than sleeping on a beach for 2 weeks. People are ready to move on. Everything's Trump's fault. Everything is still Trump's fault. Does she say it with conviction? No. You know why? Because she knows it's a lie. By the way, what is with the lighting? The lighting of the interview. Could you make Kamala Harris look more unappealing than last night in a gray suit with a gray background and dim lighting? And was Tim Walz sitting on like 12 Sears catalogs from back in the day when they used to like thud on your doorstep with the force of a cement block? Or is he like 8 inches taller than her? Like they had him positioned so that he dwarfed her, which is fine because I enjoyed it. But we're now 1 minute and 2 seconds in to her first answer. What will you do on day one? We still don't have one thing she will do on day one. Will we get it in the time that remains?
So what would you do day one?
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000.
Wait, there it was. 1 minute 25. The child tax credit. I know she lifted it from J.D. Vance, but 1 minute 25 after she's asked twice by Dana Bash, what are you going to do on day one? 1 minute 25 after that word salad of inept, inane nothingness. We get her saying child tax credit. She is unequivocally bad at this. You know, I had a realization last night as I watched this. I watched her lie. I watched her struggle. I watched Tim Walz. This guy, Tim Walz, man, I didn't think there would be anybody who could lie like Joe Biden. Tim Walz makes Joe Biden, well, he's right there with him. Let me just say that. So I'm not going to say Biden's a truth teller in any way, shape, or form. But here's what came to me watching this. There are literally thousands of people in the United States of America who could have walked onto that set cold last night and do a better job answering questions than she did. I could do it. Jack Windsor could do it. Every host you hear on this show could do it. Every conservative talk show host around the country could do it. Almost every Republican candidate could do it, save a few knuckleheads who failed their way to the top like she has. It is not difficult if you have spent 3 decades in politics to articulate positions. You are on the cusp of becoming the leader of the free world, and you have no vision. You have only empty platitudes about bringing people together and casting a vision for the future, and I'm going to take this very seriously. She's inept, and they've tried to hide it. But it's harder to hide incompetence than it is to hide senility. It is. It's harder to hide incompetence because when you're senile, you can say, well, we can't really get the old boy out of the Oval Office today to answer your questions, press. But when you're 60 and you're making the accusation that your opponent, Donald Trump, is too old, then you've got to show up and show out that you're vigorous and able to do the job. And part of being able to do the job is being able to extemporaneously answer questions. And she cannot do it. And the Democrats knew she could not do it, and that is why they took 39 days to put her out there. That is why they had John Carl and every other bootlick in the media who's part of their campaign to craft positions that she could not articulate. And it's why they had people on her campaign staff anonymously or only occasionally for attribution say, well, she no longer believes that. She no longer believes that. We never heard her say it, and now we know why, because she's incapable of saying it. If this were a different time in our nation, she would lose all 50 states, all 50. She has no experience. Her answer on Israel was essentially, well, a ceasefire is the right thing to do, and so we must get a ceasefire. Except that Hamas doesn't want one, and Israel doesn't want one. And they're the two parties who throw the switch on whether there is one. But she's like, we must have one. On fracking, which she has been on record throughout her time campaigning for the president the first time, saying she would ban it on day one. Now she says, oh, no, I made it very clear after that I changed my position. When? Last week? Last month? No, she said she changed her position in 2020. What? That's not true. Of course it's not true. It came out of her mouth. Everything that came out of her mouth last night was either inane or a lie. And Walz was as bad or worse. Wait till I play his answer for you on stolen valor and what he attributes his imprecise painting of his military record as, and what's to blame for it.
Sunny clouds, very hot afternoon. Thunderstorm in the area. The high today at 99. Thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise cloudy tonight, low 72. Variable cloudiness, shower and a heavy thunderstorm. That could affect the ball game for tomorrow. The high 83. Pleasant day on Sunday. Less humid. Sun, patchy clouds. High 88. And then sunny skies on Monday. Very nice afternoon on Labor Day. High Monday at 78. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Since I've been on October 8th to do you
since she announced her candidacy, policies like border security, Medicare for all, gun buybacks, also at issue where she stands now on fracking versus her previous position.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020 that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking. I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word.
So
Do you
So here's what the VP said during her 2019 presidential run, and also what she said during the 2020 debate she referred to. Listen closely to how she words her answer. Watch.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah, Joe Biden will not end fracking. He has been very clear about that. Sure. So, first of all, I will repeat, and the American people know, that Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. That is a fact.
Just let my pillow read.
Okay, thank you.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning. Joe Biden will.
FM, The Answer. On August 30th, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him.
I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters Friday, August 30th. Rated PG-13.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
MyPillow.com products get it done. True confession. Last night we had our bed torn apart because we are getting new carpet today. Guess from who? Bruce Hooley, of course. But We had our bed torn apart, and we didn't have it on box springs. We just had it on the floor, and it was a little bit pitchy to the side because the mattress is not made to sleep on without box springs. But I was concerned when I first laid down, but then the MyPillow mattress topper and the MyPillow got me through the night, and I slept really, really well. So if you're not sleeping well, not getting through the night without that restorative sleep that you crave, that you need so that you can function at peak efficiency, go to MyPillow.com and browse all the different products that are on sale right now. The $25 extravaganza continues. You can get a 2-pack set of MyPillow travel pillows, 2-pack for $25, or you can get the Queen pillow. You can wash dry, never loses its shape, never goes flat. You can get that for $25. Towel sets, slippers, slides, on and on and on. The savings never end. MyPillow.com, but always use my promo code, Bruce. Now, if you're listening to the show today, waiting for me to light up Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein and Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther, you won't have to wait long, because I will get to their stupidly self-preservational, transparent effort by suing the guy who has been exposing the depth and breadth of the city's data hack. I will get to that, but I just felt like I've been hitting you every day with the latest ineptitude by Ginther and Klein on this. And that the Harris interview last night, it was 9 o'clock. Maybe you didn't watch it. Maybe you forgot about it. CNN managed to stretch 16 minutes of idiocy into an hour. It was so, both candidates were so bad. This is the problem when you don't go out and answer questions every day. This actually is, I don't think, something that Trump planned on in 2016 when he became president, or in 2020 when he tried to become president again. The thing with Trump is he answers questions so often that when he says, I'm not going to say if he says, when he says something crazy, the news cycle is limited because he says something the next day that's almost as crazy, or at least in terms of the left thinking that it's almost crazy. So let's go to the Kamala interview last night. And the one thing that we were curious about was, would Dana Bash ask her about her off-stated, I will ban fracking if I become president? Here is Dana Bash asking the question last night, and then we'll get into the nuances of how Harris is lying through her teeth here.
And in 2019, you said, quote, there is no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. Fracking, as you know, is a pretty big issue, particularly in your must-win state of Pennsylvania. Sure. Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020 that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
Okay, she said she made that clear on the debate stage in 2020. On the debate stage. Okay. True or not true? Here's Kamala Harris on the debate stage. This is the long version, her complete answer to the question when it came up in the Democratic candidate debates in 2019.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. You know, we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. I think about this issue through the lens of my baby nieces.
Oh, barf.
Who are 1.5 and 3 years old.
Barf.
And when I look at those babies and I think about what the world will be like in 20 years if we don't act, I'm really afraid. And as it relates to those Republicans in Congress, where I've now been for 2.5 years, every one of those members needs to look at the babies, the grandbabies in their life, and then look in the mirror and ask themselves, why have they failed to act?
Oh, classic Democratic outrage. If you don't do what we want you to do, then you are going to kill the babies. Now, she was in another debate. Not in 2019, in 2020, the vice presidential debate with Mike Pence. And I think this is what she's referring to. When she says, I said, I changed my position on fracking. I made it clear. Did she make it clear that Kamala Harris's position on fracking had changed? Here she is, Mike Pence across from her, fly on his forehead and all. 2020 vice presidential debates. Does she say, I have changed my position on fracking? You don't have to worry about me in fracking.
Joe Biden will not end fracking. They're about that. Sure. So first of all, I will repeat, and the American people know, that Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. That is a fact.
And it is a fact. Joe Biden did not ban fracking, but nowhere in there does she say, I have changed my position on fracking, because she has not changed her position on fracking. And in fact, last night she said, and I tweeted after she said it like the fourth time in the first 5 minutes, my values have not changed. She kept saying that. My values have not changed. My values have not changed. You better believe they have not changed. That's why you had such a hard time last night looking at the camera when you were answering questions, because there is something built into the heart of every human being that when you are lying, you don't want to be caught in the lie. And so you won't look at the person that you are lying to. You won't do it. It's not comfortable doing it. Unless, of course, you are really, really skilled at it, like Tim Walz. Tim Walz is such a despicable person. I am, as much as I loathe Kamala Harris, as much as I loathe her, I loathe Tim Walz more. I loathe him more. Dana Bash asked him the question about all his stolen valor. I carried weapons of war in war, except you didn't. I was a command sergeant major, except you weren't. Listen to this litany, this staggering litany of just unfathomable blaming others and trying to shame you into feel sorry for him because he's lied to you.
You had to clarify that you had said that you and your wife used IVF, but it turned out you used a different kind of fertility in order to have children. And then when you ran for Congress in 2006, your campaign repeatedly made false statements about a 1995 arrest for drunk and reckless driving. What do you say to voters who aren't sure whether they can take you at your word?
Well, I've been very public. I think they can see my students come out, former folks I've served with, and they vouch for me.
Who cares? Who cares? You have friends. It doesn't mean you get to lie about everything.
I own my mistakes when I make them.
No, you don't. No, you don't own your mistakes. You're not owning them right now.
The one thing I'll tell you is, I wished in this country we wouldn't have to do this. I spoke about.
I wish in this country we didn't have to do this. I wish in this country I could lie and people wouldn't hold me accountable for my lies. And I wish people would feel sorry for me when I lie and I get caught lying.
Or infertility issues, because it's hell, and families know this. And I spoke about the treatments that were available to us that had those beautiful children there. That's quite a contrast in folks that are trying to.
I have babies. Feel sorry for me. I'm a good guy. We have children.
To take those rights away from us. And so I think people know who I am.
Yes, we do know who you are. You are an inveterate, unrepentant, serial liar. You are a walking bounce house. You are so full of your own hot air that you find you are incapable of apologizing for clear lies that you have been caught on, with your military record, with your drunk driving arrest, with the fact that you never used IVF. And the only reason you brought it up, the only reason, is not because you were unclear what it was, but to score a political point. And you got caught. And now you want others to feel sorry for you that you got caught.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Well, prices rose again last month. The government says it wasn't a huge increase, up 0.2% June to July. It brings inflation closer to the Fed's 2% target, cutting interest rates. While Vice President Kamala Harris has changed her tune on a number of key issues, the Democratic presidential hopeful insisting that in her words, my values have not changed. She and running mate Tim Walz sat for a pre-recorded interview yesterday. Former President Trump figures it's something that deserves government support. How about free IVF treatments for any interested couple? That's what the former president proposes. He says America could use more babies. On Wall Street this morning, stocks have been in positive territory. The Dow is up 28 points, the NASDAQ ahead 54, and the S&P trading 9 points higher. More details at srnnews.com.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, But after a while, you're going to have to stand up to it. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan. In theaters now, rated PG-13.
Hi, Eric here with Ultimate Tax Group. If you owe back taxes to the IRS or state, personal or business, my team and I want to help you take your freedom back. Call Ultimate Tax Group at 888-505-1099. We will stop or prevent bank levies or wage garnishments. We care and fight for our clients. Call us today, 888-505-1099. Ultimate
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn or iHeart.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill, wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround, and when it comes to marketing, consider us your personal move you forward company. In a recent study, we found that 53% of local businesses were classified as novices when it came to designing, implementing, and managing their marketing needs. And that's where Salem Surround truly shines. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be. Let us give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and what your competition is doing. Our digital sales and support teams are the best in the industry and deliver customized personal service that's second to none.
If your local business is ready to take the next step, Google Salem Surround Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
War has played a key role in the history of the United States. The nation's founding right down to the present. Wars made the United States independent, kept it together, increased its size, and established it as a global superpower. Hi, I'm James Early, host of the Key Battles of American History podcast. In each episode, I discuss American history through the lens of the most important battles of America's wars. To start listening now, go to ParthenonPodcast.com or search Key Battles of American History on your favorite podcasting platform.
He's one of the top 10 radio hosts in the country. He never varnishes his opinions. And now, more than ever, you need to spend part of your day with a healthy dose of The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Well, we are on the cusp of Labor Day weekend. That's fun. End of summer, so you're hunkering down. Maybe winter seems a long way off, and it is when it's 95 degrees out. Miserable weather. But eventually you're going to have to realize that with the possibility of Kamala Harris coming to the White House and with her price gouging and other proposals, should she become elected, things that you now buy at the store are either going to be a lot more expensive or they're either going to be harder to get because she will mess up the whole entire American commerce system. It would be a good thing at a time like that to have an alternative vendor, one that actually shared your values, where you could find all the things that you absolutely have to have and cannot live without, like deodorant and mouthwash and toothpaste and soap to clean your dishes and wash your clothes in and clean your countertops. PatriotSwitch.com is that alternative retailer. I've bought products from them for 4 years. My family loves them. Makeup for the ladies, vitamins and supplements, and nutritional supplements as well. They make everything they sell and they ship it right to you, and the prices are very comparable and the products are better. So go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce, and I'll reach out and tell you about it, patriotswitch.com/Bruce. We will get back to Kamala Harris-Tim Walz and their 16 minutes of ineptitude later on in the show. But right now, I do want to take some time because some of this show streams only in the first hour on my personal Facebook pages, and it's quite possible that we have people watching the show on my Twitter feed or on my personal Facebook pages in hour number one who are at risk from the data breach in the city of Columbus. It has encompassed about 500,000 Central Ohioans. You're not getting any information from the city attorney. You're not getting any information from the mayor. I think it's either because they're both too stupid to know any information, or because the information that they have reflects so poorly on them that they don't want to share it with you, and they want to do their absolute best to hide it. Fortunately, for the past few weeks, there has been a whistleblower, a good citizen, a guy who goes by the name of Connor Goodwolf. That is not his real name, but I know his real name. I don't see any point in disclosing it. Doesn't matter. He's a whistleblower, and he's been serving the public the way that Zach Klein and Andrew Ginther were elected to serve the public, which is by helping people understand the depth and breadth of a threat to their maybe physical life, in the case of police reports that are now out there on the dark web. And if you've ever been a witness in a police report, your name is out there, and the person who you maybe sent to prison in 2014 because of your testimony or your anonymous tip, not anonymous to the cops because they put your name in the record, but not anonymous in court. And now that guy's out of prison, that woman's out of prison 5 years later, 7 years later, and they can find your name, or because your financial security has been compromised. Connor Goodwolf has been the guy going, he hasn't discriminated. He hasn't been like, oh, exclusive to 10 TV, exclusive to NBC4, exclusive to WSYX Channel 6. No, he's been an equal opportunity disclosure of information. And so his reward for all of this is to be sued by the city of Columbus in the most oppressive, unconstitutional, which is to say, democratic way ever. Yesterday afternoon, Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein filed what they call in the hoity-toity world of the judicial system an ex parte motion for a temporary restraining order that would keep Mr. Goodwolf from talking to the media and telling the media what is out there on the dark web. What does ex parte mean? It means that Mr. Goodwolf did not get to go to court to present his side of the story. The judge just got to rule and bar him from talking to reporters who will then tell you on their newscasts how at risk you are. So Zach Klein does not want you to know the depth of the damage done to your financial records or your personal safety or your home address or your social security number. They want you to remain not only on the dark web, but in the dark in general, because they have moved legally to shut this guy down, and they are threatening him with a $25,000 fine and who knows what else if he doesn't comply. Now you say, Bruce, what judge is a big enough idiot to grant this ex parte temporary restraining order without, hearing from the other side in this case? Was this tried in Moscow? No, it was tried right here in Columbus by yet another contender. It's almost like every single day we have another judge in Franklin County Common Pleas Court who says, oh, I see how crazy and inept Michael Holbrook is. I see how crazy and inept George Leach is. I see how crazy and inept the other colleagues that I have are. Let me get some of that. And so Judge Andrea Noble, welcome to the Stupid Festival. Andrea Noble granted the restraining order yesterday around 5:40 p.m. without talking to or hearing from attorneys from Connor Goodwolf. Now, what is the estimable Judge Noble's background? Well, she's 2 years into her career on the Franklin County Common Pleas Court. Would you like to guess where she worked before that? Shockingly or not, she worked 14 years in the city attorney's office, including the 4 years before her ascension to the bench under city attorney Zach Klein. Well, as the church lady used to say, isn't that special? Yes, it is. Her former boss goes to court and asks her to stop the whistleblower who is exposing the ineptitude of her former boss. And she says, of course, I'll be more than happy to do that for you, Zach. We'll dive more into the particulars of this. This is outrageous. Outrageous. This is a denial, though Zach Klein is loath to admit it, of Connor Goodwolf's freedom of speech. And you say, well, I'm sure Zach Klein held a press conference, and I'm sure Zach Klein explained why he is doing this. And I'm sure he explained what crimes Connor Goodwolf is committing by doing all this? Well, let's listen to City Attorney Zach Klein and why he is making the assumption that Mr. Goodwolf is not a good citizen trying to inform the public, but is instead breaking the law. What is the law? The law is downloading and disclosing information to others to commit a crime. To commit a crime. You know, you ever wonder like how the Washington Post and the New York Times and other media outlets, James O'Keefe and others, can publish stuff that is, quote, top secret without going before a judge like, you know, this nut job who migrated from the city attorney's office to the bench in Franklin County, Judge Andrea Noble. Do you ever wonder how people can report that stuff? That's top secret government information. How can you report that and not get in trouble? Because it's not against the law. That's why. Unless you stole the information, it's not against the law. Klein contends that this is stealing the information to go on the web, which anybody with the cyber savvy to do it can do. He has no proof Goodwolf is doing anything wrong. None at all. Kudos to the reporters in the room yesterday during Zach Klein's press conference who gave him ample opportunity to say, what is Goodwolf doing that is a criminal act? And he could not do it.
Why are you assuming he's showing it to bad people?
Why are we assuming that he's not? We have no idea who this individual is. We have no idea what his motives are.
Listen to that logic. Why did you arrest me for murder? Well, why would I not arrest you for murder? I have no proof that you didn't commit this murder. That's his logic.
We have no idea who this individual is. We have no idea what his motives are. All we know is what he has told you and said publicly is that I am downloading this information and I am disseminating it to you, to the members of the media, and we don't know who else he could be. And that is a threat to public safety.
So does that mean he's disseminating it to Lisa Rontala at Channel 6 and Steve Levy at Channel 6 and somebody else at Channel 10 and Lacey Crisp and you know other reporters? He's disseminating it to them, and so that's is he filing action against the reporters? Is that Zach Klein's next move? That is just ridiculous. Here's more from this nutcase.
This is not about freedom of speech.
Yes, it is.
Whistleblowing. This is about the downloading and disclosure of stolen criminal investigatory records.
Nope.
This effect is to get him to stop downloading and disclosing stolen criminal records to protect public safety.
Never says who he's disclosing it to because he's not disclosing it to anyone. You know what Connor Goodwolf's crime is? Connor Goodwolf's crime is twofold. His first crime was in the immediate aftermath of Andrew Ginther coming out 2 weeks after the data hack saying, oh, all the information was encrypted, nobody's in danger. Connor Goodwolf came out the next day and he made the mayor look like the buffoon that he is by saying, no, look, I'm looking at it right here. It's not encrypted. It's not unusable. That was crime number one. And I kept waiting for Connor Goodwolf to weigh in on whether Columbus dropped the ball on this. And he did 2 days ago in the Dispatch. Had the city actually implemented transparent data encryption, the data would have been unusable, but that was not the case.
Sunny clouds, very hot afternoon. Thunderstorm in the area. The high today at 99. Thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise cloudy tonight, low 72. Variable cloudiness, shower and a heavy thunderstorm. That could affect the ball game for tomorrow. The high 83. Pleasant day on Sunday. Less humid. Sun patchy clouds. High 88. And then sunny skies on Monday. Very nice afternoon on Labor Day. High Monday at 78. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-839-8484, 800-839-8484, 800-839-8484.
Marriage is a journey full of moments of joy and challenges. What if you could connect with your spouse on a deeper level just by asking the right questions? Focus on the Family is offering you a free resource to help you do just that. Download the 9 Questions to Ask Your Spouse PDF today and discover how these simple conversations can bring you closer together. Text marriage to 94878 to get your free copy now. That's marriage to 94878. Connect, grow, and be blessed.
This is Dennis Prager. Now you can listen to my show when it's convenient for you and without censorship from big tech. Become a member of the ultimate online community for all things Prager. It's Pragertopia Unlimited. Listen to every radio show over the last 10 years, all commercial free. You can even listen to all my Torah teachings for free. Join today and save 25% off the first year and get a free Pragertopia coffee mug. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan, in theaters now, rated PG-13.
Hi, Eric here with Ultimate Tax Group. If you owe back taxes to the IRS or state, personal or business, my team and I want to help you take your freedom back. Call Ultimate Tax Group at 888-505-1099. We will stop or prevent bank levies or wage garnishments. We care and fight for our clients. Call us today, 888-505-1099, ultimatetaxgroup.com.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet for any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
Mattress Outlet.
Well, you heard the Reagan promo. I will be at that movie tonight. Can't wait for it. If you say, well, I'd like to go, but I can't afford the gas to get there, it's put food on the table or put gas in the tank. Well, maybe we at The Answer can help you with that. The $13,000 gas and groceries giveaway sweepstakes is underway. Go to 989theanswer.com and enter today. You can enter once each day between now and September, or you can complete optional activities to earn bonus entries to increase your opportunity to win. The $13,000 gas and groceries giveaway sweepstakes includes a grand prize of 10 grand for you to buy lots of gas and lots of groceries. Well, not so many groceries given the way prices are going up, and not so much gas as it used to be under Donald Trump when gas nationally was $2.40 a gallon on the day he left office. 4 other winners will receive between $500 and $1,000 in gas and groceries. So check it out, the gas and groceries giveaway at 989theanswer.com. So the data breach in Columbus, everything you know about it, you pretty much know because of reporting from the Dispatch and from the 3 television stations in town and from listening to this radio station. You did not learn and will not learn a single thing about it from your mayor, from your city attorney, from city council, Shannon Hardin. Boy, where is he? Is he on vacation with Joe Biden, Shannon Hardin, city council president? He's been noticeably silent on anything that has happened to people's data throughout this time. And hey, let's be honest, right? People who have been through municipal court, people who've been to city council, those are predominantly going to tilt toward people who have an interaction with the criminal justice system. And that is going to be people who are in, you know, mostly your poorer neighborhoods in Columbus. And so Shannon Hardin not exactly servicing his constituents by being as silent as he has been. But Zach Klein, the city attorney, decided he has a way to fix all this. No, not the data breach. Like, he has no clue how to fix that. What he's going to fix is the criticism he's taking for it. And so the day after Connor Goodwolf, the cybersecurity expert, spoke as plainly as he has since this whole sordid mess began in mid-July about the fact that, yeah, the city of Columbus dropped the ball in this. They didn't have the security systems in place to block hackers from A, getting into the system, and B, running wherever they wanted to go in the system. And here's the extent of the breach. And he laid it all out. If you've been a witness in a criminal investigation and your name's in a police report in any capacity, your name is out there. Your information, your social security number, your driver's license, from which they can find your banking information and find whatever else they want. Anything you own, all those things. So Zach Klein decided, well, we'll just kill the messenger. We'll just take away the source from the news media. Now, he had about a 40-minute press conference yesterday at which Mayor Ginther did not appear. Did not appear. I mean, you know, T-sheet was crowded yesterday at Scarlet, so Andy couldn't make it in time for Zach Klein's press conference. Zach took the short straw, stood there, took reporters from what certainly seemed to be a salty bunch of media members. Here's a flavor of what they wanted to know from City Attorney Klein, and the rapidity and the fact that the same questions kept coming up time after time after time after time told me that very few people in that room were buying what Zach Klein was trying to sell.
That way. Is it illegal to download information from the dark web?
Well, like I said, this has all been an
Question is it illegal to download information from the dark web? That is what Connor Goodwolf, the whistleblower, has been doing. And Zach Klein has filed a lawsuit against him. Is it illegal, which if it is, that would precipitate a lawsuit, is it illegal to download information from the dark web? Listen how Zach Klein tap dances. He's a regular Gregory Hines.
It's only illegal if you use that information in a bad way. Is it illegal to download information from the dark web?
Well, like I said, this has all been an investigatory process that started with the initial breach back in July. I'm not going to get into the details. Obviously, we as a country have drawn lines of where there are things in the dark web.
Sounds like a no.
Not download child pornography, murder for hire, the sale of drugs. Like, all of that is on the down web. There's prohibitions about that. And, you know, I'll just leave it at that and say that this is an ongoing criminal investigation involving Reseda and other actors.
So the answer to that question is, of course, no. Or he would have said, yes, of course it's illegal to download information from the dark web. Here's Zach Klein trying one more time to make this sound like, oh, it's all in line with my duties as a civil servant and a reporter. Not buying it.
Look, I'm just looking for him to stop downloading and disclosing confidential information about officers' names who are undercover, about witnesses, and about victims.
Disclosing?
That is the purpose of this TRO.
But has he done anything illegal by talking to the press about? He hasn't tried to steal anyone's identity or anything.
Well, that's never been alleged that he tried to steal anyone's identity. Like I said, the purpose of this is not about suppressing speech, Bill. The purpose of this is to get him to stop downloading and disseminating and disclosing victims' names, witnesses' names, undercover police officers, all of which threaten public safety.
Downloading, disseminating, and disclosing. Who's he doing it to? He's doing it to other media members, which is not illegal. It is not illegal. And Zach Klein, well, I was going to say Zach Klein knows that, but I can't vouch for Zach Klein's legal acumen. I can't vouch for his acumen at anything other than glomming on to the hard work of Pete Edwards and the Edwards family to keep the Columbus Crew in town. Zach Klein took a victory lap for that. He had absolutely nothing to do with it. More, ask point blank, is this a crime to download information and give it to the media? Oh, I've already played that one. Sorry. It's just so many Zach Klein ineptitude cuts to play. I got one confused with another. Here would be a good question. If you're going to sue somebody for doing something, wouldn't you presume that that person is under an ongoing investigation by the city attorney? You file a lawsuit and then you continue to investigate to bolster out, make your lawsuit more robust. Here's the question. Let's see if Zach answers this one.
The TRO does mention several alleged criminal charges that he, violated. Does this mean, is there a criminal investigation underway or about to happen?
Oh, Steve, this thing's been under criminal investigation since
Related to him?
Yeah, this thing's been under criminal investigation since the middle of June.
Related to him?
I can't. This whole thing has been under criminal investigation, and does it go in and piecemeal? This whole, that the whole thing, and we've all been very clear about that.
No, we haven't been very clear about that. It's under investigation. The whole thing is under investigation. So why are you filing a lawsuit against him? Is he under investigation? Well, the whole thing's under investigation. Yes, but is he under investigation? You file a lawsuit against him. You name him. You threaten him with a $25,000 fine. Is he under criminal investigation? Well, the whole thing's under criminal. He won't answer. And if you won't answer, then you know it's because you don't want to answer because you are caught in a lie. I'll say again, this city's overrun by Democrats. It has been put on a path to ruination by Democrats. This city ran like clockwork and was a great place to live and a safe place to live and a prosperous place to live when it was stewarded by Republican leadership in sometimes a cozy and, yes, frustrating collaboration with business titans in this town. That is no longer the case. It has not been the case since Michael Coleman served 3 terms as mayor. It will not and is not the case with Andrew Ginther in his 3rd term as mayor. And Andrew Ginther yesterday was not part of this press conference, which shows you how much he is hiding from culpability, responsibility, and accountability on this matter that affects at the least 500,000 citizens in Central Ohio, including every policeman, every firefighter, the first responders, the people who keep us safe. Andrew Ginther can't keep the populace safe, and he doesn't want to answer for his failures in that regard.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. Did you know that 80% of adults take supplements to feel our best, right? Well, one thing your dog can't do without you is improve their diet or health to feel their best. That is why I believe Rough Greens could dramatically help your best friend by adding what is missing to their diet like you do. Rough Greens is helping thousands and thousands of dogs feel better and live longer, including my dog, Mr. Briggs, who loves it. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who created Rough Greens, is also an airborne ranger and Green Beret, an amazing background. He loves dogs and is on a mission to help as many as he can. Dog food is dead, and Rough Greens supplements your dog's food with existing vitamins and minerals, omega oils, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and antioxidants.
We're talking about in this.
The idea that you said that you were in war. Yeah. Did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog.
The idea that you said that you were in war. Yeah.
thousands of migrants from 4 Latin American countries. Jackie Quinn has the latest.
After a 1-month suspension, the White House is again implementing an immigration program for thousands from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and
During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal
allegations of fraud were investigated. And the Department of Homeland Security says it's not widespread, but the agency will step up its review of financial records that sponsors are required to submit, as well as their criminal background.
An inflation measure closely tracked by the Fed remained low last month, extending a trend of cooling price increases, clearing the way for the Fed to start cutting key interest rates. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Sunny clouds, very hot afternoon. Thunderstorm in the area. The high today at 99. Thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise cloudy tonight, low 72. Variable cloudiness, shower and a heavy thunderstorm that could affect the ball game for tomorrow. The high 83. Pleasant day on Sunday. Less humid, sun patchy clouds, high 88. And then sunny skies on Monday. Very nice afternoon on Labor Day. High Monday at 78. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel, home to the biggest shows on TV, like Hugh Hewitt weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, followed by Mike Gallagher at 9. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free, now on Zumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Zumo.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. Major League Baseball in the American League, the Houston Astros scored 3 times in the 8th to beat the Kansas City Royals 6-3.
All right, everybody. Wow. Biggest audience for a while today. Really appreciate it. Great to, I guess I could look at you guys directly. Sorry about that. Great to have you with me. I'm only allowed to stream the first hour of the show on my own personal Facebook pages, so you'll have to go to the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page or the 989 The Answer Facebook page to get the rest of it. I really appreciate you joining. I hope you have a great Labor Day weekend. I hope you draw close to God and He blesses you in a way that you feel it personally, and know that He is the way, the truth, and the life. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Louis, the New York Mets, Miami, and Philadelphia.